It wasn't my fault, Eddie.
Your lad.
Doing his job.
You knew.
Not about Ivor Brooks, I didn't.
You liar.
Listen, it was a separate issue.
Yeah. What have you been doing these last 4 years?
Doing?
Yeah, doing. You and him.
Well,
Had your problems, have you? What colour roller to have, huh? How big a house to buy? It must have been torture.
Now, listen.
Now, you listen to me. Now, for 4 years, I paced a 12 by 8, and I shared it with two other fellas I couldn't stand the sight of. One a miserable little creep, and the other the granddaddy of them all. It should have been the loony bin years ago. Now, that was my lot. It's a pity you couldn't have come along and joined us, innit? Then we could have had a right old knees up.
Eddie.
And all for nothing, eh? All for sweet Fanny Adams, nothing. And now they've got Eve on, haven't they? And that's what she's going to face, isn't it? Well, not alone, she ain't. You're getting on a bit now, ain't you, eh? 10 years inside, it'd about see you out, wouldn't it? Now, how's that for a nice thought, eh?
But there must be some way that you...
Way? Oh, yeah. Oh, sure, there's a way. Oh, king of the fixers here, eh? Noble judge and jury, get her off scot-free. Now, that's what I call a way. Are you up to that, Reg? Huh? Or is it a bit out of your league?
Why don't you sit down, Eddie? Have another drink.
You...
Now, let's just look at this, shall we?
are not dodging nothing.
I'm not trying, Eddie. I'm not trying. All right, so you want to put me away? 10 years, is that how you read it? Well, let's just look at that. The silver-tongued mouthpiece might just do me a cut-rate job on that. On the other hand, he might overturn it altogether because you're going to have a job to make anything stick.
Not what I've got on you, it won't.
Oh, and incriminate yourself as well.
Listen, I know all that.
Oh, fancy going back inside, do you?
Listen, I'm in training. Another 18 months to be a doddle for me, knowing you're doing more and suffering.
Well, that's a hell of a lot of hate for a little blonde tart who didn't mean a light to you.
Oh, yeah? And what do you know about it, eh?
Well, Yvonne Brooks, well, she wasn't exactly what you call paid-free material, was she?
Listen, you. I'll call her what I like, all right? What's that?
Ashley.
Where are you off to?
Well, I imagine it would be better for all of us if I kept him out of here.
You do you, huh? You imagine it, huh? Better for me? Now, listen, missus, I can handle him. I'll make mincemeat out of him.
Just leave it to Jen, will you? I've got a little business proposition to put to you. I can't do that if he's listening, can I?
Go on. No funny tricks. I'm famous for the last laugh.
Hello, dear.
It's not the rain.
Oh, it's always the same.
Dad's back then? It's cars on the drive.
Oh.
Just as well. I want a quick word with him.
Oh, not now, dear.
Why?
He's got someone with him, business.
Ah. Quiet in there, isn't it?
Oh, I expect they're mulling over contracts.
What's the fella's name?
Well, I was introduced, you know, but it's gone quite out of my head. Now, why don't you come to the kitchen with me and
Mum?
Nothing.
You don't want me to go in there, do you?
No, I've explained,
What's
dear.
happening?
You know, the trouble with you is you will bring your work home with you.
What are you doing here?
I suppose you could call it a social visit.
Don't you mess me about.
Listen, Sunshine, if I messed you about, you'd know all about it.
He threatening you?
Do me a favour. Does it look as though I'm threatening him? Put him straight on that, would you?
I promised Eddie a little help when he got out.
Oh, yeah? Sort of aftercare service, that's how you put it.
Hey, missus, come on, get yourself in. The last thing I want is a little phone call with your finger stuck in the 9. That's it, all together, one big happy family. And just in case it crosses your mind to summon a couple of your mates and try to pin something nasty on me, like harassment, demanding money with menace, think again, chummy, because I think your old dad's got one or two thoughts on that subject.
Don't forget the special in the corner, love, will you? It's a birthday party. The flowers are all ready.
Sorry I'm late, Kath.
Oh, tonight of all nights. I thought you wouldn't get here in time for me to warn you.
Warn me? What about?
You've had a visitor, a man.
Eh? Well, what was his name?
Well, that's just the point. He wouldn't give it. He said not to bother.
Oh, well, then it can't have been that important.
No, I don't know about that. Hey, you haven't been followed at all, have you?
Not for years. Why, have you?
No, be serious. Look, there was something awfully funny about him. I thought, now, look, why don't you let me ask Arthur to take you home tonight, just in case?
Oh, don't be so daft.
Well, I mean, you never know, do you? And what with the phone call and all that, he could be anybody.
Sounds like my insurance man. Perhaps I've fallen behind with the payments without knowing.
And you read all sorts of things, you know. It'd be no trouble for Arthur at all. He wouldn't mind a bit.
Oh, I'm sure he would. Anyway, you keep telling me he's busy in the garden.
Oh, only 'cause Mac's busy in his. It's not so much garden as patrolling the boundary fence. Besides, it'll be dark, you know, by the time you leave here tonight.
Oh, stop fretting, Kath. It's probably somebody trying to sell me something. He didn't say he was coming back, did he?
Well, I said that you'd be here if he did come back.
Well, he can't be all that menacing then.
Hey?
Well, if you told him to try again.
No, well, you see, it wasn't till afterwards I started thinking about it, and then Rashida was remembering that phone call, you see.
Ah, there's nothing to it.
Leave it, Ash.
I can handle him.
So can I. Now, just do me a favour, will you? Take your mother through to the kitchen and leave it all to me.
That's right, son. Do as your mother says. And don't try anything spectacular before you check it out with your old dad. Because you might be putting the mockers on a very special friendship. Am I right there, Reg? Right. Let's be having you then.
Now, let's not kid ourselves, Eddie. You know as well as I do that the thought of one more day's porridge gets you right in the guts. Then what for? Revenge? What kind of revenge is that when you've got to go back inside yourself? Look, you're a free man, Eddie. You're done your bird. And you can put a price on that freedom. A substantial price.
Go on, Reg.
All right. 4 years you did inside. Well, give or take a few days. Now, what would you have made if you'd been on the outside? Legit? Well, $4 a year, less tax. Using your own special skills. Double it?
Yeah, and some more.
All right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will call it 10 grand a year. And you can collect it tomorrow.
40 grand?
Right. In used notes, in that briefcase, for you to pick up and walk away with. How does that grab you?
Sitting over there, that man reading the paper. Doris.
It's all right.
Do you know him?
Well, I think I do. But it can't be.
What do you mean?
Well, it looks like my Tom. Tom Logan. But I thought he was dead. Killed in the war.
Not the one you were engaged to, the one you were telling me about.
Yes. No, you can't see him. Not now.
You must, Doris. You can't just let him go without seeing you.
Well, perhaps later after I finish work.
Well, shall I tell him then?
Yes, all right. Oh, I don't know. Oh, whatever you think best.
Excuse me.
Hello. You say I come back again?
Yes, I'm very glad. I've got a message for you from Doris. She'll see you when she's finished work.
Oh.
Well, it's all right, you see, Mr. Logan. She knows who you are. She finishes about 9:30, if you don't mind waiting.
I'll be here.
Hello, stranger.
What are you doing out?
That is nice, isn't it? It's all right, love. It's all above board. The Home Secretary pops round for a chat. He says, Eddie, our mistake. Off you go, my son. So I said, oh, thanks, Willie. Fancy half a jar? He says, no, I'm a bit busy for all that.
Look,
so
do you
I
mind
said,
talking sense?
Some little unmentionable put the finger on Yvonne Brooks and cracked her.
Oh.
So that was my key to the door, wasn't it? You put on a bit of weight, eh? Oh, nice. Very nice. Don't tell me you've forgotten how to say hello to a fella.
Hello.
Come on.
All that's over, Eddie.
Yeah, like hell.
Believe it.
You shacked up with someone?
No.
Oh, for a minute, you had my heart going. Oh, it's been a long time, yeah? A long time.
The magic's gone, Eddie.
Brings back memories, doesn't it, eh, this old place? Oh, what? Up and down those stairs like a yo-yo. Where's Di?
Abroad.
Oh, that's handy.
Why have you come back here?
See you, love us all. Honest. Nah, a little lie, innit? There's, this family. A bit snooty. The old man, you met him once, Reg Lamont. I don't suppose you remember. Anyway, there's him, his missus, and his beloved son. And between them, they've made a fair-up job of messing me about. So I thought, why not call round on them and even things up a bit?
Really enjoyed today, Mac. It's been great.
Good. Oh. Look at the time. Trina will kill me.
Oh, well, blame me.
Oh, overtime with a chick. Think I'm crazy. I'll see you.
See ya.
Hello, Glenda.
Hi. Oh, didn't know you were working tonight.
No, I'm not. Just come in to meet Mum. Anything's better than being at home. I'm on my own now, a grass widow.
Oh?
Well, Kevin going to Nottingham, you know. I really do miss him.
Yeah, expect you do. Still, a job's a job.
The only way to look at it, I suppose. He'll be back weekends, or I'll just have to make the most of those.
Yeah.
Probably for the best, really. We're beginning to get on each other's nerves a bit. Well, I was getting on his, I know that.
Look, Glenn, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Mac'll be waiting to lock up, you know.
Yes, sorry. Listen, do you want to go to the pictures tomorrow night?
Well, I've got a bit of a cash flow problem at the moment.
I could lend you some.
Oh, no, thanks.
Have I done something to upset you, Carole?
No, of course not.
If I have, I wish you'd tell me.
No, it's me. I've been a bit... Anyway, now I've got this job full-time, I'll be a lot better. How about next week, Friday?
All right, then. Definite. Unless I'm on split duty or something.
Yeah, well, if so, some other time then, eh?
Yeah.
Hello, Tom.
Doris.
Well, where did you spring from, then?
Is that all you can find to say?
What do you expect? I thought you were dead.
You haven't changed.
You have. Put on a bit of weight.
Knew me, though.
Why, I knew you.
Sit down. Let me get you a drink.
Not just now, thanks.
Well, this beats cockfighting, eh? You and me here after all these years.
1944. That was the last time I saw you, just before D-Day.
That's right. Last leave.
And not a word since. Missing, presume.
But I were for a bit, you know. I was taken prisoner early on.
Well, you could have written. I didn't know what to think.
No point. That's what I thought at the time. We'd had that row.
We were always having rows.
I know, but this one were a bit different, weren't it? You took the ring back. Said you wanted naught more to do with me.
I was young. Seemed like I had all the time in the world then.
Harry Turnbull put the tin lid on it.
Harry Turnbull?
Aye. He said you were going to marry him. So I thought the best thing was to keep well out of it.
You thought I'd married Harry Turnbull?
Well, you never could make up your mind between the two of us. Now, don't deny it.
But thought there was never anything between me and Harry. Oh, well, why could you think such a thing? I don't know. I mean, fancy believing a thing like that.
He sounded so sure. You know Harry.
Aye, I do. Biggest liar that ever wore shoe leather. There was never anything between me and Harry, Tom. He just said that to make mischief.
I know that now. That's why I've come looking for you.
You've left it a bit late.
I've only just come back, you see. After the war, I had nobody. Both my parents were dead. You were promised to somebody else. I stayed on in France. Worked on a little farm over there.
What brought you home now, then?
The lady who ran the farm died. It was sold up. The rest of the family weren't interested. So I thought now's the time to make tracks for Yorkshire. That's what I found out. About you and Harry. That there was none of it true. 40 years, near enough.
Yes, it's so long, I've lost count.
I didn't. They told me in the village that you'd gone south to look after your sister. A place called Peach in Shropshire. From there it was easy. So here I am.
Yes.
I should have written. You choke white.
Well, it's been a shock. You'll have to excuse me.
You never married?
No.
Me neither. I thought on it a time or two, but never did anything about it. There was always this, you see.
You never kept it all these years.
Have a look. You don't mind me turning up like this? I haven't upset you.
No. Just surprised, that's all.
Because I feel I want to stay on for a few weeks.
What, here?
Hereabouts. I booked in at the hotel down the road. Very comfortable.
Oh, I see.
It'd be grand to have a talk about the old days. Go to the films together like we used to. Have a night out, a good meal. I've never got over missing you, lass. I mean that.
Harry Turnbull's got a lot to answer for.
Aye. He died, you know, last year. Just as well. I might have killed him.
Who said anything about violence, eh? Did you hear me mention it?
Even a score?
Ah, there's more ways than one of doing that, isn't there?
Oh, come on, I know you, Eddie.
Aren't you a lucky one, eh? Here, what's all that for?
When I said you could stay, I meant on that.
Got in for segregation, have we? I thought I'd done away with all that.
It's the way it's going to be, I promise you.
Look, Sharon.
Oh, what?
We had something going, didn't we, eh? Come on, you got to admit it, eh? Fantastic. Okay? So I've come back
Look,
again.
I've told you, it's all over and I mean it.
Nah, it's easy to say.
It's true, absolutely.
Nah, you can't just rub it away like that. No way.
Look, if you must know, I look back on it all and wonder why the hell I went through with it.
Sharon!
And don't go thinking about slipping the lock, Eddie. It's bolted from the inside, so be a good lad and try and get your head down, huh?